Holla at your boy. Today I was listening to some some YouTube videos, surfing YouTube, where like the Quakers have entered into this story, and really, if we want to know who John Fenwick is, and William Penn, and Edward Billings, all these characters that we're about to start getting into, if we really want to know like who they are and what they believed and why they made the decisions that they made, we gotta try to understand what uh, the Quaker religion is all about. And in order to learn that, we have to start with George Fox, because George Fox is the father of the Quaker movement. Um, so I was doing a little bit of YouTube surfing. I didn't really retain much. Let me think. What did I retain? Um, I believe he was born. We're gonna look all this up anyway. This is me testing myself a little bit. Uh, I think he was born somewhere in the 1620s, Lancashire, somewhere in the Lancashire area, if I'm saying that right, and I'm probably not. Um, and I guess at some point he felt like he had revelations, like a spiritual revelation, where God was talking to him personally. Uh, and that's when he started going around, I guess, being an evangelist. I'm not sure if that's the term that they use for him, but that's pretty much the idea. I think he went to South England and then ended up going back up to North England somewhere in the 1670s. And I think that's where really his movement kind of like gained a lot of traction, is when he went back north. Um, what else did I retain? What I did learn about the Quakers today, um, they they believed in Christianity, and they believed like in the spiritual aspects of it, but they didn't feel like anyone but God really could be like a ruler over your life. No pope, no pastor, nobody like um please nobody hold me to anything that I'm saying, cuz I'm just spitballing here really, and I do like spew off a lot of misinformation sometimes, but just remember one thing. I'm not in this position to be a teacher, and I'm not here to teach anyone anything. I'm researching and I'm learning. So you're just along for the ride if you enjoy this nonsense as entertainment. Anywho, uh they had all the spiritual aspects of like Christianity, but I think that they had a problem with certain authorities. Um, they were very modest, so they weren't really into like material things, and they dressed accordingly to, I guess, those ideas. There was no pastor or like leader of of their church. And later on, the meeting houses were set up a certain way. We talked about this before, where like the doors, one was for the men, one was for the women, and that was to show like that there was equality between the men and women. Like they shared a equal contribution to this thing. But it was set up in a way to where like they believed if God wanted to inspire any of them or give a message to anyone, then God would pick one of them to inspire, and that person would give the message. The more we dig into it, it really like they're probably one of the more mild Puritans. They didn't believe in slavery. They didn't believe they just didn't believe like anyone had no man had an authority over another man's life. Like God was just the one and only authority, and you could go directly to him yourself. Or at least that's what I take from it. They didn't believe in rituals. They didn't believe in traditional practices, like the Catholic Church or like the Church of England. Presbyterians, which was on the scene at the time and experiencing the same persecution, probably, maybe to a lesser degree at different points, but they're reformed. They have a different way of thinking. Like they don't believe in free will. Everything's predetermined. But they still kind of dig their rituals a little bit. A lot of the founding fathers were Presbyterian. But anywho, that's a whole tangent. Back to the Quakers. They didn't like rituals. They didn't like pastors or authority. So that's what I retained. I'm just gonna write. We're gonna do page 17 today. We've read this first paragraph a couple times over the last few streams. I guess Joseph Smith of London, this fellow, had collected a lot of the early writings that Quakers had wrote and compiled them. That's what I take from it, at least. And I'm going to write that down as a note for later.